Okay, so the first question I want to ask is, oh my God, Bizarro, your lead actor is off the chain. Where did you find him? He's just so intense.
That's true. Yeah, and it's really strange because in real life he's a phenomenally nice guy. I met him because like I said at that time I was really just kind of learning the craft and all that, and I met him helping out a friend for one of his short films, and he was one of the actors there, and it was great because thanks to him I was able to meet the woman in the film as well,
Mhm.
named Kiana, and she's a very good, she's a theater actress, whereas in his case he plays usually in films, usually in independent films and on TV in Bulgaria.
Okay.
So it was my first time working with quote unquote real actors. So that was yeah, he's insanely talented if you ask me.
Ah, very talented. Not to mention the fact, of course, it's so. I want to talk a bit about that camera angle. When he's where the camera seems to be flipping in like four or five different directions. Where the head's going from here to here to here. How does one do that? Because that looks very intricate for the shooting itself.
Well, it was. I mean, I had it all in my head. Of course, as is usually the case, it doesn't always manifest itself in real life
Hmm.
when you're filming. But yeah, I had it in my head. It was more like a comic book type because I like interruptions, and
Hmm.
I like changing the pace of cutting rapidly, uh, and using that to propel the feeling.
Hmm.
Uh, and so, I mean, yeah, I mean, it was more like a storyboard in a film sense.
I gotcha. Now the
And that,
story. Oh, I'm sorry. The story itself. You wrote it. Yes.
yeah, I wrote it, and I
Okay.
ended up actually filming it.
Okay, now the question is, how did you? I guess I was really curious to see how you came up with the ending because I believe like that could have gone two different directions, if not three. So, were you always stuck with that same ending, or did you play around with the whole story for a while and change it up a bit?
Uh, that was the way it was originally. I mean,
Okay.
that's how I imagined it. I mean, usually, you know, I also made a second film, which I like to think I done a lot better on the technical aspect. But I make films based on my dreams, so
Oh.
it was based on like a nightmarish type of thing, and of course, when it manifests itself in real life, it becomes something different. But yeah, that's I imagine the story as. It's based on so during the late '90s in Bulgaria and the Eastern Bloc, uh, there was sadly a lot of human trafficking uh, going on,
Hmm.
and I was reading a lot of stories like that, which fascinated me for some reason. Just uh, uh, and so it was, it started from there, and then I guess just dreams I had and just the feelings I get from certain buildings and things like that
Hmm. Okay.
manifested themselves into this.
I gotcha. Now, as far as the musical score goes, talk to me a bit about that because that also fits very very well within the context of the story. So, how did you get that? Was that somebody that you knew, or where did you get it from? In essence.
Yeah, one of my best friends is a composer.
Ah.
Uh, we kind of work together. We actually have started a studio together recently, and back in Bulgaria. He's a composer, and so at that time he was studying jazz guitar and in conservatory in Sofia, and so this was his guitar theme,
Ah. I was gonna
and
say.
we kind of did it on the spot. I mean, we watched things and we discussed feelings, and we kind of did it on the spot. And like I said, I mean, it was a very guerrilla type of situation, so I just recorded him with the mic I had on me, and we just spent like a day or two
Mhm.
uh, rehearsing, and then he went back and thought about it and perfected it, and then we recorded it.
Gotcha.
So,
Now, it sounds like to me, anyways, what I'm hearing in the playing is it almost has kind of a Spanish feel to it, like Spaniard type music. Was that important to have those influences within the course of the music, or am I just imagining this?
I can't say I am. Unfortunately, my musical sense is subpar, so I
Okay.
can't really say. I mean, I just know how it feels, and there is a certain Spanish feeling. I will agree. Uh, I like the I like how direct it is, and I like how abrupt it is.
Ah,
And I feel that that fits in well with you know, the character, the story, and what's going on in his head.
I
So,
gotcha. Now, we talk a lot about with my various filmmakers. One of the things that you mentioned was is that this is an experimental project for you, or that you are first starting out, of course. Tell me a bit about what you've learned about filmmaking, meaning in particular, what would you never do again that you learned? Like, oh my God, I would never try this again, do this again. Is there anything that's made you, you know, has increased your ability because of some of the mistakes you made when you were first starting?
oh, certainly, and I think with every next film, it will. I always keep learning things, as is the way in life. So you can separate that into two. The first part would be the technical aspects, and technically, I mean, I learned my most important lesson was not try and do everything myself,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and try to delegate, which I haven't been very good at, but I'm getting better. And you know, get more people involved because it's a team, type of thing. You know, it's a
Mm-hmm.
collective art form. And on the other side of it is more of a theoretical thing. So back at that time, I was influenced and more obsessed with like crime films and things like that. And I consider the genre I want to create and would be more of a chaotic cinema.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Whereas now I just kind of, I don't know, I guess I perfected in my head my idea of what I want to make, and I consider it more of an existentialist
Mm-hmm.
cinema. So I try to attack more uh, philosophical things through my work. And I mean, this film, it does kind of reflect that from a very beginner's point of view. But
Oh no. Did I lose you there? Hold on, folks. Okay,
um,
you're back. Okay, I just lost you there for a second. Okay. Um, so my next question is, as it relates to the budget itself, we all know that independent filmmakers don't make 6 million a year, of course. And so when it doesn't look like this would be exponentially expensive, but how did you end up faring on that? And more importantly, how did you fund it?
it was out of pocket in this case. I mean, like I said, it's just me having ideas in my head. I saved up some money a couple of months, and but I mean, my for me, budget is only important as well. Of course, it's very important, and I'd like to work with a bigger budget someday, big enough, if that's even possible.
Sure.
But for me, its most important thing is to be able to somehow pay the people that help you. I mean, whether you know, maybe you won't be able to afford paying them the full rate and things like that, but you know,
Hmm.
at least buy them dinner. You know what I mean?
No
So
kidding.
that's where the budget's supposed to go, if you ask me. And on that film in particular, I think most of it went to just renting out the house and you know, just buying this and that. But it was just very minimal. And in my newer film, I spent a little bit more money, and I hope that reflects it. But again, like if anybody out there is worried about budget and things like that, just make sure you have enough money to you know, have everyone feel like their work has been appreciated.
Oh, sure, absolutely. I would agree with you 100%. Now, looking forward here, as of now, what are you currently working on? What have you been doing with your time creatively?
So I am creating what will hopefully be my third film. I'm writing a script, and like I said, I started a studio in Bulgaria.
Hmm.
And yeah, I mean, hopefully, if I'll be able to finish the script by the end of the year, maybe, you know, next spring, I'll be able to film. And my idea is when I create enough films, I would like to release them as kind of like an omnibus type of thing,
Hmm.
uh, so that they will be together because there's a thematic line that goes through, and I think it's interesting
Hmm.
to see uh, creatively how the ideas morph and change and perfect themselves with each passing film.
Sure.
That's my idea for it.
Oh, you bet. Before I forget to ask, how are things over there? Because obviously you're in another country from ours. Everybody's got a different situation. Are you guys even in a position to film, etc.? I mean, is the country in decent shape right now with
Oh
everything
yeah,
going on?
right now, currently, you're catching me. I'm in Texas. I'm on
Oh,
my front porch in Texas. Yeah, I live part of the year. I come to the U.S. because my parents live here, and so
oh,
now I'm
nice.
in Texas. And which in a way it sucks that the festival wasn't live because of all the restrictions. Because I would have
Right.
probably made it here.
Oh,
But otherwise, in Bulgaria, it's a great place to film. I highly recommend it to anyone if they have the option to. And right now, I mean, over there we haven't had that many restrictions, to be
oh,
honest.
okay.
It was very loose. There's some political instability and things like that, but and for normal people in normal life, I can't really say it manifests itself that much.
Sure.
There's, you know, now the world's kind of messed up anyway, but it's Europe, and I'd say Eastern Europe is doing far better with the COVID crisis than Western Europe is. So,
Oh boy.
but
Gotcha. Sure. Now, before I forget, because as I've mentioned, I am shamelessly promoting all of the time. Tell everybody how they can find you in terms of your prior work or upcoming work, or if they want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
Oh, yeah, that would be great. I'd love to get in touch with anyone. You can find me on Instagram with my name A Frangov, AFRANGOV,
Mm-hmm.
and on Facebook with my name. And you can. I also use the page for my newer film, which is called A Shadow Confined,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where I post things around that.
Awesome. Wonderful. Well, I have to
Yep.
say again, thank you so much for letting me screen you again. I really like the movie. I think it's awesome. I don't know how it's going to fare because we haven't decided who's winning yet or nominated, but we'll work on that later. I'm just so honored that you took the time to come here to actually do the panel, let me show the film, and more importantly, judge for me. I would absolutely love it. In fact, Chris is saying to me, the movie, truly fantastic. I was very impressed. I really love the look and feel. Hold on one second. I loved I can't believe it was his first film. The music was simple and perfect for the film. The cinematography was done so well. He loved the look and the feel of the entire film. Look at that.
Thank
That
you.
says it all. That's awesome.
I'm
Um,
really excited.
Absolutely. So yes, I will stay in touch, obviously, of course, because I still have to interview you for my magazine. That'll be upcoming, of course. And then I'll reach out after the festival's all over with and tie everything up, and I'll get you a copy of the interview as well. But just thank you so much for being here. Now I have to flip over. We have the next two movies, Resistance, which is a 7-minute TV series, or I think it's a TV pilot that was shot. And then, of course, the co-founder, Michael, his movie called Devil Knows What will be playing, and we'll be doing a Q&A with him. So I'm going to let you guys go now. Give me like 5 minutes to get everything all set up. I'll jump back on and we'll get to our next segment. But thank you again, Asparuh. Have a
Thank you,
wonderful
Cindy.
afternoon.
Thank you, Cindy.
Anytime.
It was an honor for me, and
Thank you.
anytime.
I'm so sorry
Yeah.
we had some technical glitches. We'll get it by the end of the day, or like by the end of the day, everything will be all perfect and we'll be done. We'll keep it
Yeah.
going. And if you have time, feel free to screen. I mean, obviously you have access to all the movies. Come back if you'd like. And we'll see you guys in like
definitely will.
4 minutes. Bye.
Turning into a great afternoon. Bye, Cindy. Bye. All the best.